You are.
There it is.
Hell yeah, boss.
Oh, hey.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning and welcome to episode 1377 of Hard Factor. It is Tuesday, January 16th, 2024. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80% accuracy guaranteed on this podcast. Subscribe, like, and drop us a 5-star review, please. Today, we've got World War III again, definitely happening this time for sure. Dolph Lundgren. Will he be in World War III? We'll find out. ESPN cheating again? Probably. The FBI celebrating MLK Day, Hooters, and much more.
Whoa.
Yeah, big one.
Yeah, lots.
Pretty much summed it up there.
Say Hooters.
Wow, well done, Will.
Yeah, I got the Hooters. I'm bringing the Hooters.
We just go to the Hooters.
Stacked lineup like Tammy the Realtor. Stacked.
Yep. Shout out Tammy. Also, shout out everybody in the Fat-A-Thon. Patreon.com/Hard Factor. Get your weights in now in the Discord server. All tiers can compete. Lose weight.
I'll get that weight in tonight. I forgot
Get
about
it
the
in,
weight.
Pat.
Gotta get the weight in.
Tough week for Wes. He gained.
Well,
Sure did.
the weigh-ins are still open because Wes gained weight. Pat still hasn't got his weight in. So everybody, you still can win the Fat-A-Thon.
Starting
You also
now.
can get anybody who enters can sign up for free Ozempic from our sponsor for this thing. 2 lucky participants can get a free cycle of Ozempic from this thing. So wow.
Yep. And we're going to be announcing that on next Monday's show, who the winners are. So get in now.
Roland's excited. Live chat. He says, "Yeah, boys. Yeah, get in there, Roland."
Ronald.
Has anyone injected themselves with semaglutide yet?
Not yet,
We got it.
but I will.
Yeah.
Gotta get a
going
Sharps
to.
box.
Thanks to Lasara. Lasara is going to get us looking good.
Yeah, you'll hear from them later.
Less sexy.
But
Yeah.
sign up if you want to get their product.
I'm about to say Lasara to my fat boy jeans. You know what I mean? Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
We got a big show. Let's do the news, though, huh? Okay. I don't know what button to press. Not really.
Just do the news.
I'm going to do the news.
Well,
Guys, it's been a while.
Whichever one. Yeah.
It's been a while since we've checked in on what's happening with the war in Ukraine. I mean, with Israel committing a genocide in Gaza and the Jews controlling the media, the other war is kind of playing second fiddle right now in the headlines. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Wes, do they have a Ukraine bio flag checker? Like percentages of Twitter that had the Ukraine flag in their bio and how much of a percentage that is now versus back then?
Yeah, don't know. But it's not as many.
I'd be interested.
Yeah.
What's wrong with supporting for a little bit?
Oh, well, Pat, because of what Wes is about to talk about.
Yeah.
There's so many wars, Will. Who to support?
So many
Yeah,
wars.
well, 700,000 dead in that one, and they're still going to give up. We'll get into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Will's gonna kind of ham and egg this
I
one
don't
with
see
me.
you going to Ukraine, Will.
Didn't want anybody to go there. Wanted them to negotiate for peace. Wes, tell us what's happening.
So Russia is still mercilessly killing Ukrainians for no reason. Ukraine holding strong, claiming small victories like yesterday when they took down a Russia spy plane and an airborne command post in the Sea of Azov, which would, of course, have been a huge blow and could have possibly changed the whole trajectory of the war forever. But Russia says that they have no idea what those crazy little Ukrainians are talking about in regards to the downed planes. So sounds familiar, right? Ukraine claiming small victories, Russia still killing all of them and their own people. And it's just, pretty much how it's been going for a while, right?
Yeah, for what, 3 years now? Two and a half?
It's a bad sign. Claiming a small plane no one's ever heard of that's a bad sign.
It was a big Russian spy plane and then an airborne command. If they did take this down, it would have been a huge blow because it's only one of a few that Russia claims to have in their arsenal. But again, Russia is saying that Ukraine is full of shit. It's just been going like this for years, as well.
And Todd cleaned his gun. Todd set the record for gun cleaning. There's
Yes.
naming off stupid shit.
Yeah. So over the weekend in Switzerland, where the World Economic Forum is taking place, Ukraine outlined its plan for peace, but Russia wasn't even there. So clearly they have other plans like bombing Ukrainian civilians.
Yeah, no, they were still
women.
bombing Ukraine. They didn't attend the World Economic Forum in Davos with Zelensky.
Unless they plan for pieces, I'm not interested. Plan
All
for
the-
pieces?
Yeah, pieces.
Yeah.
All their strategists are in one location to attack.
In fact,
commence the attack.
Russia came out and just mocked Ukraine's peace plans, with Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov saying, "This is simply talking for sake of talking. This process cannot be aimed at achieving any specific results for the obvious reason we are not participating. Without our participation, any discussions are devoid of any prospect of any results." Duh.
Right.
Right, but were you invited? You know, like if you were invited, that's a bit of a dickhead.
Pat, listen to what the WF did. They, along with Zelensky, said, Russia, you stop invading us and leave entirely. Give us back all the land you've taken, and that's our terms. And so that's literally what they delivered. That's what sure, it's not, because Russia's winning. So, and also the U.S. doesn't have any more money or bombs to send to Ukraine, so they're out of fucking
trying.
Look, Ukraine did better than everyone thought they were going to do. Ceasefire, more like a deceased fire.
Mark, 700,000 dead, and they're still going to give up the same amount of land in the end.
I wouldn't say Russia's winning.
Everyone thought Russia was going to crush Ukraine.
Between sanctions,
it looks like
the amount of money they spent
win it in the end.
On this situation, I mean, they're crippled for a decade. Russia is.
NATO wins because Russia cripples themselves taking over Ukraine, and then Russia wins because they get the Ukrainian territory they wanted. Ukrainians fucked completely.
I mean, no one wins besides the big weapon producers that made billions of dollars.
Yeah.
NATO and Russia get tactical advantages from this. Ukraine gets destroyed.
Right. So the war wages on, and now a German newspaper called Bild, and I don't know if you've ever gone on a German newspaper
of
website.
Course. Twice this week.
But man, it just looks like
just
Nazi,
Saturdays.
It just looks like Nazi propaganda. The whole thing. That's what it looks like. And they've released what they are saying.
A lot of eagles. A lot of
yeah. I mean, it's very intimidating, very aggressive.
I gotta take a closer look at that eagle, bud. Hold on.
Yeah.
How come their crosswords, their daily crosswords, are in the shape of a swastika?
An iron cross.
Yeah, iron cross.
The iron crossword.
This newspaper released what they are saying are classified documents obtained by the German military defense, which claims that Russia is going to start World War III by attacking NATO countries. And
Window Watch 2.0 started.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, well, come on.
Yeah.
You didn't learn your lesson last time?
No, my lesson is people should have listened to me because I was right. Listen, if he should have gone for a negotiation prior to the invasion. He refused to have peace talks. Now they have 700,000 dead because of the war, and they'll give up the exact same amount of land in the end. Ukraine will.
If you weren't right.
I don't think that's what what you were wrong on, but anyway,
you said it wasn't
going to
happen.
You said it wasn't going to happen.
You said the invasion was never going to
hoping
happen.
for them to get destroyed like everybody else.
You said for 60 shows in a row it wasn't going to happen, and it's still happening.
It's currently 90 seconds to midnight, guys.
Shouldn't have had to happen. Mark, 700,000 dead. Big deal.
I hate it. I hate that it happened.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
was cheering it on at the beginning.
Anyway, they released.
I mean, it was them or our people going. Right? Like, this is what people don't get. Like, I'd rather them do it than our boys and girls
That's
going
made me
over there.
burn a hat. You were cheering it on so hard.
Well, Will, look at this. Will, one of the strategies that they released is that Russia would create another military exercise called the Zapad.
Yes.
Which is exactly what they did the first time. So, maybe they will, maybe they won't this time. But as I read further into the article that claimed that Russia was going to start World War III, it turns out that these are all just made-up scenarios by German generals. So not really putting a lot of
Germany wishes someone would start World War III to get them off the the last two. So
listen, they're prepared over there. They're paranoid and prepared, which
they're
is
like South Africa calling it a genocide. You know, they're trying to pass the buck.
If they speak it into existence, right? Like
right. Yeah.
Well, every country does this.
Does anyone want to start a world war besides us?
This is how you could do it.
Yeah.
Russia's going to.
They play these games like the level of war games that our country plays is fucking insane. Like, it's like Risk on steroids. Like, you got to show up someplace, you got to like tell your wife you're not gonna be home, and then they like tell you like, you know, this place just got bombed. What do you do? And it always ends with everyone on the planet dying.
Yeah.
So
the Ukraine Risk piece got utterly destroyed over the last 2.5 years. So
that was a tough one. They kept
everyone kept rolling that piece in the track.
Everyone kept rolling double sixes on him or whatever was going on over there. Yeah.
NATO, Russia, just back to everybody. Ukraine rolled a 1.
But let me get to
Once
the other
again.
wars that's going on. Israel and Gaza. Hamas, the murderous terrorists, released some videos over the weekend. I don't know if you guys saw them. Here's one of them. I'm not going to play any sound. Quite, the graphics and the time they put into these propaganda, murderous terrorist videos are pretty impressive. That if they put half the time into just relaxing, maybe none of this would be going on.
Scary looking, yeah.
No, guys, these are motion array templates. I know where they got those.
Yeah, they are. Anyway, the first video over the weekend.
Does anyone know how to do a Visual Studio?
Watch the tutorial.
Premiere.
A computer that can handle After Effects.
I need Adobe Expert now. So the first video released featured Noah Argmani, Yossi Sharabi, and Atav Seversky. I know I'm slaughtering those names, but you might know Noah. She's probably the most famous hostage that was taken from that Nova Music Festival. Here she is being drug away by Hamas terrorists. She's still alive. And in the first video, Hamas used her and the other two asking, hey, which one of these three should we kill? Because if Israel doesn't stop bombing us, we're going to kill them all. Then
Noah good.
In the latest video,
outsourcing executions, huh?
Right, we're running a contest.
It's like Sophie's Choice.
Yeah, and in the latest video, they used Noah to announce that the IDF and Israel themselves had killed the other two gentlemen in the video with a airstrike. So they're like, hey, we didn't even have to do it. Here are their bodies. Thanks, Israel. You did it for us. So Israel is, of course, saying this is a lie, another Hamas lie, propaganda. They said that the airstrike was carried out in an area near where the hostages were being held. And he said that they didn't know.
None of our airstrikes killed any of our people.
Right. They want to make that clear. And they haven't confirmed whether or not the bodies shown in these new videos are, in fact, these two gentlemen hostages. Hopefully they aren't. But, it's not looking good over there. And finally, in response to that, I guess, two Palestinians launched a coordinated pair of car rammings in Israel, killing an elderly woman and injuring 17 others. The attacks happened north of Tel Aviv in Ra'anana. Here's some pictures of the aftermath. They basically stole some cars and rammed some teenagers as school was let out. Again, injuring 17 and killing an elderly woman. Response to,
Pressing segment. That Ash live comment says Israel rolled a 1 on that airstrike.
Yeah.
Little inside risk joke.
Yeah. The Middle East in general, I feel like it's all one roll.
Have been killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
does that mean that you're embroiled in holy wars for multiple millennia in a row? Because it
means you get to send one soldier, which is 20, like one piece, which I think is 20 soldiers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, crazy. But hey, that was depressing, wasn't it? Luckily, this show is sponsored by Betterhelp. And, Betterhelp is a sponsor that we've been using for a long time, and it can be something that you use to help with your mental health.
It really helped me get to that window watch period. I'm not going to lie. Talking to my sponsor, my therapist back then with BetterHelp, and just was like, man, why don't people see like it's going to be a bloody war? They could just do it with negotiation. And he just said, sometimes you can't convince them all. And I was like,
sounds like all your friends are into war, Will.
It really did. I'm not going to tell you what he said about you guys.
You shouldn't.
You should change the whole topic. You should just change the whole topic and attack something else.
It's like when an alcoholic gets out of rehab and they're like, you can't hang out with your alcoholic dipshit friends. You're not supposed to hang out with us anymore.
That's right.
Yeah.
So around New Year's, we get obsessed with how to change ourselves instead of just expanding on what we're already doing right. Maybe you're doing a lot of stuff right. You need to expand on that. BetterHelp can help you do that. As Will just said, he's used BetterHelp to get him through some trying times. I've used BetterHelp to continue my journey of sobriety, and it has done wonders. If you're not using therapy to accomplish your goals, it's kind of like having peace talks without the other person in the peace talks being there. It's a little bit,
Good analogy.
It's not going to work out, right?
Almost exactly what he told me at the time. Yeah, it was really
exactly
profound advice. Yeah.
Exactly. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. You don't have to stick with the one therapist. A lot of times you get in there and you talk and you're like, hey, this is not going to work out for me. No problem. Go to a different one. Find the one that works for you. Celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit betterhelp.com/hardfactor today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/hardfactor to get
there you have it.
Yeah, 10% off. First month.
Great segment, Wes.
It's great. Guys, I want to talk about ESPN and the Emmys. And as a guy that's been nominated for an Emmy, if you didn't know, and also developed an expertise in submitting the names of people, mostly girlfriends, who aren't, in fact, seamstresses or photographers or working.
So you've done this exact thing.
To music festival ticketing offices to get more all access passes with certain bands I managed when they were playing that festival. Right. I feel like I'm the perfect person to cover this story. Okay. Yeah. So dying media brand, ESPN, they got busted doing a bit of a no-no when they submitted names of non-existent employees as having had worked on College Game Day, at least, when they submitted their paperwork for Emmy consideration for Game Day. The National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, they clawed back at least 37 Emmys from ESPN that were awarded last week. Well, actually, that's not true. Not last week. This may have gone back to 1997.
Yes,
but
it was more than Game Day. Game Day had 10 of the 37.
Right, but certainly Game Day was the one that the Emmy that broke the ESPN executives back. Game Day is the same program, the very same one where Hard Factor's vice president of football operations missed a layup field goal wide left, dashing his hopes of finally achieving BMOC status at our alma mater. James Madison. I didn't want to pull up the video to verify Wes is too disgusting.
Depends which angle you're looking at. It was wide.
Wasn't close. Yeah, I mean,
he missed it. Anyway,
unfortunately,
it might have been so far wide right that it circled around left.
Yeah. My son spit his juice out when Uncle Eric missed the kick. Guys, it turns out on-air talent, okay, here's the rub. On-air talent not eligible for awards for certain shows, right? Since at least 2010, potentially as early as 1997, ESPN has been inserting fake names into their Emmy entries, right, so they could cover their on-air talent. Then they took awards won by some of those imaginary individuals and had them re-engraved and gave them to their on-air talent, right? So... Right. In an effort to get Kirk Herbstreit, it's I don't know because
like the program won because it was the best program, but it was for not anchors. It was for like a producer or associate producer that they didn't care about. So the associate producer was like, sure, and then what they did was they took names and made them almost identical with the same initials, so it was easier to re-engrave the names.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for example, Kirk Herbstreit won.
Right. So it's easy to change that to Kirk
Les Coolio, Craig Feeler, Dennis Howerton, Sally Power.
How did the Emmys not catch up on that? Like,
all right, so
97 to 2023. Like, it took them that long to crack the case.
They don't verify anything, and also, how did the anchors not like fucking
guys? That's why I said at the top, I've been nominated for an Emmy. Okay. That's what I'm saying. It's not. I didn't even know I was nominated. I didn't even know I was nominated for an Emmy. I was writing my bio. I hit my buddy up because you should put in that you were nominated for an Emmy on that thing we did. I said I was okay. Cool. It's loosey goosey. Okay, it's not the Oscars.
Right. They gave away the award you were nominated for, Pat. Associate producers get these awards.
Right.
That was your award.
There was I was associate producer on a film.
They were going to give it to Kirk Herbstreit.
Okay, here's why. Because individually, Kirk Herbstreit or Lee Corso, I'm sorry, Kirk Henry or Lee Clark, they can win their own awards. That's why it's called a double dip, and it's part of the rules. Because you can win your own award as outstanding host, right? So if you're really crushing it, you can win as a host. They don't also want you to double dip, right, and win if your program wins. That's the rule.
So really, this is insulting because they didn't have any confidence that their guys would win in the awards they were nominated for legitimately. So they gave them the ones that they knew they would win because they didn't have the talent to win the ones they should have won.
It's a smaller pool probably to win. Like okay, I don't know what category exactly College Game Day was in, but they're gonna win because it's probably one of the better. It was for the College Game Day studio show. Probably one of the better produced shows because there's not that many people in the sport. There's FS1 and ESPN, right? That's it. It's a bigger pool to win outstanding sports host, right? Because you start working at HBO, essentially anyone that does sports. It's absolutely nuts. But
I'm so confused why they would do this. Wouldn't if you you're winning Emmys and you didn't really deserve them, aren't you going to then demand more money? Aren't you going to maybe go somewhere else? Like think you're a big shot? Like isn't it kind of shooting yourself in the foot to give these fake awards to these people that didn't fucking deserve them?
It's a great point. They
odd,
didn't
Wes.
know.
Yeah, the Emmys is telling on themselves too, not just ESPN. It's like
It's an odd story.
It's very
Right.
confusing why they did this.
Yeah.
So
we're taking back all the fake awards we gave to you.
7-time Emmy winner Kirk Herbstreit leaves ESPN.
They
Over
love their
50
employees,
years.
don't they?
And then
Here's-
Emmys are like, he's only won 1. Kirk
Here's what's
Henry's
fucked
won
up.
7.
So Sam Ponder, right? She got a dude's name, Steve Ponder, and Aaron Andrews got Eric Andrews. But for some reason,
They both got dude
for
names.
some reason, Shelley Smith got a lady's name, Shelley Sanders. I don't know why. They were like, no, they won't believe that many ladies are producing shows. They got to be dudes' names.
See Stephen Ponder. That's a good
Smelly
one. Stephen
Shelley.
Pounder.
Yeah.
Stephen Pounder.
Let me ask you this though, Pat.
And he did. Remember company office party?
He's pounded it out. Pat, were you are you aware if they actually have associate producers, or are these on-air personalities kind of their own producer?
No,
of sorts?
100%. So they were just stacking the deck, really. Like that's why I gave the festival analogy. So like when you're playing a music festival, they'll tell you anyone that has a working pass can get in. So you just add 5 guys on your personnel list that aren't working, so you have 5 extra all access passes.
Right, but to Will's point, the guys that actually deserve the awards didn't get them. No,
No, they
Well,
did as well.
maybe-
They did as well. They did as well.
Maybe, but what I'm saying, Mark, is that
you get extra Emmys.
in this
Right.
case, you as an on-screen, personality for ESPN, you may have to do a lot of your own production work if you're doing a lot of like sideline reporting stuff like
okay,
that.
well then put the legitimate name in there.
But to Will, your point, associate producer Steve Smith, who's actually an associate producer, he gets his award kind of denigrated a little bit because Sam Ponder also gets the award, right?
Yeah,
Even though
it's true. But was Steve even there? Right? Like,
He
what's
was.
their
He-
arrangement? Was
Anyway,
he
I don't know.
And also, did they re-engrave the whole thing? Did it say best associate producer? Then they changed that to best on-air anchor, even though these guys could have seen that they didn't win that online.
Well, dude, that's a great point Wes made about the contract. So, Wendy Nix, or Wendy Nixon, as they submitted her, she said that she was given an Emmy around 2010, and she had no idea it was improperly obtained. It just showed up one day, like, "Hey, you won an Emmy. You were part of the crew," because she didn't know the rules. Here's Linda Cohen's Emmys. I looked at them. Yeah, no, I mean, I guess they did the same initials, so you just have to buff out the bottom part. But it says, Sports Center Studio Show. It's a broad award.
Yeah.
So if she had won the host award, it would say host.
Award. Exactly. So like, it's not even, unless they buffed out that and put in host. That's what I'm saying.
They didn't. No, they didn't do that. They just said,
bizarre.
yeah.
They did this because no ESPN host was ever winning an Emmy. Basically, like they were.
I bet
always
some of
getting
them
beat out.
did. I bet some of them did.
like Stuart Scott,
Not since Stuart Scott. Probably.
SVP Stuart Scott. That's it though. Like nobody else is winning an Emmy for hosting, and then so the only way they're going to get the award is if they put him in as an associate producer. So
Well, look, here's the thing. Here,
Their real names in.
this might
I
sting
guess
a
you
little bit.
can't. You
They're
can't.
cheap.
It's double
Cheap.
dipping. No, you can't. It's double dipping.
Yeah,
You
they're
can't
not
have
eligible.
choice.
Hosting the show is not
They're not
eligible.
eligible.
Right. But here's the thing: you do have to pay for your own Emmy, so it's not like they were stealing it. Right.
that's a weird award range.
Look, I think that
You have to pay
ESPN
for almost all the awards. You have to pay for your own. It's
That
crazy.
sucks.
even the Oscars. You have to pay for your own.
Oscars, I don't know, but I know a dude that has like 12 Emmys as an editor for Larry King, and he had to pay
He's
for his
in
own
debt.
Emmys.
Does that up the amount of advertising that advertisers have to? If like you're on an Emmy award-winning show, do the
course.
advertisers then have?
No,
to
it's an
pay
internal
more?
jerk off.
Or is
It's an
that
internal
fraud?
jerk-off. No, numbers dictate that.
Wes is bringing up a lot of good points.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
He's through the whole operation.
yeah, he does. He's seeing the field. He doesn't have his new glasses yet, and he's seeing it well. Now I'm not going to take it very seriously when ESPN covers like small cheating scandals in sports. It doesn't hold as much water when they're like, Michigan's reading signs. I'm like, yeah, but you steal Emmys.
Some
It
of
was
them are big,
prob-
though. Qatar
Someone
also
made a
won.
genius move and said, "Hey, let's make these dummy talents think they're really special and make them feel like they're on a good ship." I guess.
It's really nice
Not-
of them to do that.
It's condescending.
Dude,
is what
it makes sense. If you're one of the hosts, you're
Your
ride or
morale
die.
is
for your
high.
fucking- yeah. for that manager, whatever manager that came up with this decision, the hosts love that guy, or like, or lady, whoever it was.
100%.
Like,
yeah. Linda Cohen's posting about her 4 Emmys. They're all illegitimate. They're all getting taken back. Guys, you know what to break your trumpet, like realizing that your Emmy isn't legitimate is not getting a boner right. And as you get older, sometimes you don't get a boner right. 52% of men over 40 experience some form of ED, right, between the ages of 40 and 70. Okay, it's been taboo, right? People don't talk about it. Let's talk about it. Thanks to HIMSS, now we can talk about it because HIMSS is providing affordable access to ED treatment. So if you're not getting a boner right, or maybe you're like, man, I'm just not as horned up as I used to be, you can afford to get some HIMSS, really light it up in the bedroom, so to speak. You're confident at the office, at the dinner table, on the dance floor. Why not be confident when your lady says you want to do it and you say, I've been waiting 30 minutes for you to ask that because I took a HIMSS. Yeah. So they're changing men's health care, right? HIMSS provides access to clinically proven generic alternatives to Viagra and Cialis, up to 95% cheaper, as low as $2 a boner. That's pretty good.
That's a deal, dude.
Oh, that's a long and strong one too.
Yeah, you don't have to go to the doctor either. It's all done online. So a series of questions on their site. Medical provider will determine what the right option is for you. Super easy. Comes to you in discreet packaging. No insurance needed, so you can just pay the straight $2 or $4 or whatever it is, boner pill price. Start free online, hims.com/hardfactor. That's HIMS.com/hardfactor for personalized ED treatment options. hims.com/hardfactor. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if it's appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details, important safety information, etc. Subscriptions are required, but again, it's inexpensive and price varies based on product and subscription plan. So get on there and get your dong hard.
Live comment from Muhammad Raleigh says, "Give these guys an Emmy."
I love it.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
He's right.
Thank you, Muhammad.
He's right.
Maybe there's like a local cable access station we can get broadcast on to get eligible.
Yeah.
Oh, we should have been setting that up for a while, but yes, we can make that happen. And where did Muhammad make that comment from, Wes?
Live YouTube, I believe.
No, it was
Twitter.
X.
I see the X now. Yeah, there we go.
X. Now it's called X. And taking it to the internet for this next one, there's no context needed other than it's a tweet we're going to talk about, and that this Monday of this week was Martin Luther King Jr. Day in the United States. Sorry, I forgot to mention it on yesterday's podcast. Pretty sure you knew it.
Live tonight. Happy Martin Luther King Day.
That's right. A holiday to remember the work of the good doctor in advancing civil rights in America. Also, people call it a working holiday. Not everybody's off. So taking it to the internet, at FBI tweets to celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. Day, they say, this MLK Day, the hashtag FBI honors one of the most prominent leaders of the civil rights movement and reaffirms its commitment to Dr. King's legacy of fairness and equal justice for all. That's the at FBI account. And Community Notes added a pretty important piece of context to that tweet, which is this. The FBI engaged in surveillance of Dr. King, attempted to discredit him, and used manipulation tactics to influence him to stop organizing altogether. Dr. King's family believed the FBI was responsible for his death.
Yeah. The FBI could have just tweeted at MLK Jr. Day. What a sucker.
Here's
right.
Here's a fun quote from the COINTELPRO letter that the FBI sent Martin Luther King after they recorded him having sex with a woman other than his wife and then sent the audio recordings to him. King, there is only one thing left for you to do. You know what it is. You have just 34 days in which to do this, and that is kill yourself. The FBI was trying to get him to commit suicide.
They eventually did. Probably.
This has big vibes of like whenever like someone murders their wife or murders their husband and then they like take to the internet and they're like, I miss him so much. And it's like you find out months later they killed him.
It's like the chick who wrote the book about what if I killed my husband or whatever. Yeah. How like and then she
Daddy's gone. Daddy's in heaven.
Daddy's gone.
Here's another great quote. Lend your sexually psychotic ear to the enclosure. You'll find yourself and in all your dirt, filth, evil, and moronic talk exposed on the record for all time. Thanks, FBI.
Yeah, that's the FBI treatment of Dr. King, who is a American hero and a legend of advancing civil rights. The balls on the intelligence community ceases to amaze me every single day. It's fucking incredible. the shit that they think they can get away with. Josh on X also comments, when is the next Let's Go pod dropping? And that is tomorrow.
Tuesday.
Tomorrow on patreon.com/hardfactor. Or today. Sorry, today.
Tuesday afternoon.
Tuesday afternoon. That's when the Let's Go drops. We'll be talking about all the playoffs, giving out picks. Get in there. It's amazing. Okay.
Wes's golf pick was second place. Oh, man, he lost in a playoff.
We had a good pick.
Wes on it. Yeah.
Besides the Cowboys, which none of us really picked because that game we just assumed they would win, we had actually a pretty decent week of picking. Okay, now on to better peacekeeping news. Okay, the FBI really blew it with that tweet, but one brave World War II and Korean War veteran by the name of Harry Perez Cerezo from El Paso, Texas. What's that?
What a name.
Yeah, I'm Harry, classic.
Harry Cerezo?
Yeah, Harry Cerezo from El Paso, Texas. He has vowed last year on his 100th birthday to keep coming back to the same Hooters every single year for his birthday for the rest of his life, as long as he lives.
So one more time.
Yeah. Well, and he just his 101st on January 5th this year. There's Harry getting his hat signed by all the Hooters girls. They're celebrating.
He looks good.
Yeah, no, he's fantastic. Harry has made a lifetime of smart decisions, earning a Purple Heart in Korea without coming home. So he stayed out there, went back to fight after he got patched up, working for the USPS ever since retiring from the armed services, and then retiring, close to El Paso, friends and family around. His loving wife passed away in 2018, sadly. And of course, now that's led to his fantastic decision to go to Hooters every single year on his birthday, as long as he gets to live. And the Hooters girls love it.
Okay? My wife was named Heather. Yeah. Do the hula hoop thing.
Mm-hmm. He needed to see something after.
Holy shit.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So Harry's pacemaker batteries need to be replaced when he's 105 years old. So he's expecting at least 4 more Hooters visits before it's all over. An American hero and a living legend, Harry Perez Cerezo.
Round of applause for Harry.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah,
incredible.
The best.
All right, some other things going on in the news this week. A Houthi ballistic missile targeted and hit a U.S. ship off the coast of Yemen. So that's just on. Throw that into the list of.
Was it yeah, that was that. When did that allegedly happen? There was a lot of reports.
Yesterday.
Yeah, they showed videos of stuff early in the week.
Well, the U.S. confirmed that the missile hit. I don't think it killed any. Hopefully not U.S. military, but they did.
The U.S. confirmed that video was real. They did hit a ship.
They hit the ship and they hit a U.S. ship. So I mean, obviously that's on over there.
Now we can bomb the fuck out of them.
Yeah, I mean,
we already
still Wes. Yes, still. Yeah, we can still do it.
We already give the Saudis bombs to bomb Yemen for the last.
Okay, this was your idea. Bill O'Reilly is furious. Yeah, you started it. Bill O'Reilly is furious.
8 years.
Yeah, it's been on for a while. He's furious that 2 of his books were pulled from Florida libraries for all the don't say or read gay and don't teach my kids about sex stuff laws over there. Laws Bill O'Reilly vehemently supported until his books were pulled. And now he's like, wait a minute. Not sure if it's because he described his sexual assaults in detail, and that's why they were pulled, or from some other content that Bill put in there.
No, Bill used to write some novels. He wrote one about a pimp, and that pimp,
creative guy,
his
name Jim O'Reilly.
Right, the pimp was like, "Why don't you put that pipe down and go down on my pipe?" I think I'm butchering it, but things like that in his pimp novel.
So he's not happy because he's like, "This is ridiculous. Other books, not mine."
Active imagination, that Bill O'Reilly.
For sure. Fuck it. Let's do it live. Lil Nas X is absolutely driving Christians mad again. This is the 3rd or 4th time in recent years. First, if you remember, he did the devil shoes that have a 666 on the side of them, and then a Bible passage, and it's just a devil shoe that Nike greenlit. Then he did the music video.
It had blood in the blood capsule in the air pocket, right?
Yeah, it had a pump, but it was human souls that you were pumping.
It was like a blood vial or something.
Yeah. Then he did the music video where he gave Satan a lap dance. That didn't go over well with the Christians.
That was hot.
Yeah. And Jesus, right, was. Now in his most recent video,
shirtless black guy. Oh my God.
Does that do it for you guys? Turn you on? Little Nas X giving a lap dance to the devil.
Well, it's just I don't need him. I got that.
Right, exactly.
And that'll
I
really
just popped
piss off
a
the
little Nas
Southerners.
X devil lap dance on it.
Sins.
That guy.
Now, in his most recent video, after denouncing Satan, so he's trying to get on their side, he's still driving Christians up the wall as he decided to portray Jesus and was hanging from the cross in his music video, and that's not going over well.
Why does that bother anybody? It's just
I don't
artistic
know.
expression. I mean,
Look,
like, what the fuck?
I mean, Lil Nas X could have done none of it, and Christians wouldn't like him because he's the gayest man on earth. But the story I want to talk about in detail today is this week's Hound Dog of the Week. Ow! Ow! And this is a guy who asked someone why you raisin if you don't want me to smell it. He's a guy we're all familiar with, an icon of action movies of the 80s and 90s, but not one of the big names you'd expect when I say that. Not Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Van Damme, or even Willis. I'm talking about Dolph motherfucking Lundgren. I'm talking about He-Man.
Number 8.
Yeah.
He's
Dolph
the
Lundgren.
eighth biggest action star of
Oh,
the
you're gonna
80s.
say Carl Weathers.
No, he's bigger than Carl Weathers, but he's in a commercial now. If he dies, he dies, right? Drago said that in Rocky IV. Man was an absolute beast, just a fucking beast, man. And now he's older. He's 66. Here he is giving a recent interview. Here's a picture of him now. So, he's older. He looks okay for 66.
He's got a genius level IQ too, I think.
Yeah, he's smart. Yeah,
He's Russian, right? Or something.
He's one of those. But I don't think he's Russian, but he's definitely a genius. I think he graduated from like Oxford with like honors or some bullshit.
Swedish. He's Swedish.
But yeah.
Yeah.
That's
They
him
say-
giving
they say
that's
they have
him
good schooling.
Yeah, I mean, he's smart and jacked, but he's been giving recent interviews like that one I showed you, promoting his newest shitbox movie that's going straight to a lesser streaming channel, probably. And it's because of this that I discovered today that Dolph is an absolute hound dog who married 26-year-old Emma Krokdal last year, and good gracious.
I mean, Dolph is keeping it tight though at an advanced age.
He's
So
got
this is
old man
less-
bod.
Ooh, okay. He shouldn't go shirtless as much anymore. But
There's Emma. Look at those cheeks.
Like a
Those are his
turtle.
buns now.
taut. It's taut. Dolph though, is this creepier or less creepy than Al Pacino? Because I mean,
Less
way
creepy. He's
less.
66.
yeah.
So
less
Emma,
She a
who's
yoga
super hot.
instructor or something?
Well, close. She was his physical trainer to the stars, and she landed a C-lister in Dolph. Not bad, but those are Dolph's cheeks now.
Yeah, but she gets everything when he kicks the bucket. So
Right. Look how happy Dolph is.
He told her,
smoking his
he's
cigar.
like, I'm not going to live forever.
yeah.
You know,
Not with that sized body and heart and those cigars.
come and have sex with me for the last few years. You know,
Pull up his
he's
old man body
6'5".
again.
Pull up his own. Yeah, I mean, look at the size of his heart. It's
it's
like
big, Wes. Look at he's big,
Like a turtle
see his
shell.
heart.
Like underneath of a turtle.
like a leatherback turtle on his
Yeah.
chest.
Yeah.
He's got 2 kids. She's gonna have to murder them. That complicates things.
he's got kids. Yeah, that's the position he does when he's about to thrust it in Emma. I mean, come on.
Good
Congratulations,
for him.
to Dolph.
Good for you.
You think if you're that old and you're banging a girl that's like that much younger than you and that hot, like you think Dolph is just premature ejaculating left and right?
I don't think he's lasting too long in Emma.
I mean, you're old, you're already tired, right?
Yeah.
So you don't even want to last long, probably. So
No.
like,
Let's get this over with, Emma. Then you can go back to the pool at my house that I bought you, which she's all of her pictures on Instagram are her laying out at Dolph's pool. Her pool.
Dolph's
now.
enjoying it. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, I know.
That's her pool now.
But with a body of work like Dolph's, you get that body, and that's going to do it for Hard Factor today. Like what Will said, we got a couple Patreon shows coming out. One today, Let's Go, and then Hive Hour on Wednesday, and then Florida Man Friday on Thursday. So give it to you a day early. Support us if that's your thing. But most importantly, get out there and have a great fucking day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.